Fala galera, beleza? Bem-vindo a mais um TAURIAN Podcast. Eu sou o Yuri o Imortal Invicto e hoje nós temos um convidado aqui especial para vocês. Mas antes eu queria avisar vocês que nós estamos fazendo um especial hoje e nós vamos dar um desconto aí para todo mundo de 15% na nossa loja da TAURIAN MMA em qualquer luva de boxe, MMA e caneleiras. Então, em breve vou lançar aí o promo code. E, primeiramente, antes do promo code, queria agradecer aí a minha mãe, Vanusa Morelli, meu pai, Nivaldo dos Santos, e agradecer a Susan Gleice Marim e agradecer a Marciana Paiva pelo suporte que tem dado à marca. E também eu gostaria de agradecer aos estúdios da TLC por todo o suporte que tem dado aí para essa podcast se tornar uma realidade. Um grande sonho meu se tornou uma realidade. Hello everybody, this is your boy Yuri from TAURIAN MMA, and today I have a very special guest here, a guy that I know very well. He actually trains me, and we're gonna be doing a special. I'm gonna give you guys a promo code for 15% off on TAURIAN MMA store, and but before that, I just want to show you guys my guest. I have that man in my heart. He trains me. He pushes me forward, tries to perfect my technique. I give you Mr. Adric.
Hello. Welcome. Thank you, everybody. It's an honor to be here. Seriously, it really is an honor to be here. So I'm looking forward to just having a little back and forth banter with you and everything.
Cool, man. Yeah. And like I said, we're going to be doing a special, a promo code, and I'm going to let you choose the word for the promo code on the website. So okay. Any word you give for that week, they can get 15% off any product in TAURIAN MMA.
Okay.
You can choose a word. What word would that be, bro?
A word. I'm going to use a word that I often use in our Luta Livre class, which is positividade.
Positividade. Esse é o promo code. That'll be the promo code. Positividade. It'll be the production will put the name down there, so it'll be easier for everybody to understand. Man, thank you so much for being here. You're giving us a very special gift, which is your time. And Deerfield Fight Sports, my friend. That's the gym.
Yes, sir.
That's the gym right there. That's the gym, guys. We're both from the same gym.
Yes.
Deerfield Fight Sports. I train with him. Train with Daniel Mendes, Jesias Cavalcante. I have mad respect for these men. And my brother.
Yes.
My brother.
Irmão.
Tell me, my brother. Tell me. I want to know more about you. I'm very curious about your past, my friend. When did you start this journey in MMA? Not MMA. I mean the martial arts.
Well, that's a great question. In regards to martial arts, it started early on. As my brother, he used to do Aikido back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And I used to watch him, and as soon as I got to be 5 years old, my father and my mother decided to go ahead and enroll me into the Aikido program in Chicago, Illinois. And martial arts, that was my first introduction to martial arts. And throughout my time, from that moment all the way up until around when I actually got introduced to MMA, I was more so just dabbling around with different styles of martial arts. So I started off with Aikido, and eventually when I relocated to Wisconsin, I did a little bit of Aikido still, and then I went into Taekwondo for a brief period of time, studied a little Hungar Kung Fu with this Whitefish Bay Kung Fu Club. It was just for children, and I used to ride my bike from Bayside all the way to Whitefish Bay for anybody that's familiar with Wisconsin. And from there, eventually I did that until high school. In high school, I just dabbled for one wrestling season. I did wrestling for one season, ran track throughout that time period. College, once I went into college, I had to focus in primarily for school. So I still tried to do martial arts. However, it wasn't until after I graduated in 2007, around 2008, 2009, when I moved back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that I actually signed up for to start training with Duke Rufus Kickboxing Academy. And at that moment, I actually signed up, but it was actually nice because Duke Rufus would host kickboxing and MMA shows in Milwaukee, him being the biggest gym. So he had a promotion where it was, if you come and volunteer setting up the chairs, so on and so forth, for half a day, you'd get 1 month. This would being on Saturdays, and if you do it for the full event for all day, also helping tear down, then you get 2 months membership. So for myself, not having a lot of money and still having to work to get by, it was like, you're telling me to take my Saturday, set up for an event, be able to watch fights, make sure people get to their seats, so on and so forth, and then I can still train afterwards for 2 months for free. So I went ahead and I took advantage of that. I just went ahead and started, helping out there, started training there with Duke Rufus for the first, until about 2010, 2011. And then Eric Red Schaefer, he made his own group, his own gym, which I went there to train, and I trained with Eric Red Schaefer for going on another 2 years before actually relocating to South Florida. And that's when the history really starts to kick in, because before I moved here, I actually remember visiting Black Zillions.
That was back in the day.
Yeah, 2014. And I remember seeing everybody. I mean, this for me was like being starstruck, and I was able to train around a bunch of good martial artists when I was in Wisconsin. Both the Pettis brothers, Pat Barry. I remember meeting Rose Namajunas before she even got out of high school. Jordan Griffin, he was on the UFC. There's a bunch of people that I was actually able to train with. Solo Acosta, he's actually gotten a lot of people into the UFC. Red Schaefer, he was also in the UFC. So I've been able to see a lot before coming to Florida. But then when I came to Florida, it was like, oh, now I'm seeing Vitor Belfort, I'm seeing Josias Cavalcante, so many other different people.
That's where you met him.
Yes. That's where I first initially met Josias at Black Zillion. And then when I finally relocated here, I was more so in the North Lauderdale area, so commuting all the way out to Boca for me was a little bit of an issue. So I ended up going to, I guess, what a lot of people would consider to be the main staple of South Florida, American Top Team, and I was there at American Top Team from 2015 through 2016, and once again, got to meet a bunch of people, just the community, the lifestyle, as far as just meeting people from every facet of the world, every reach of the world or whatnot, was very nice. From there, I ended up leaving ATT because I couldn't financially afford it and whatnot, being down here on my own. And I ended up starting up with Carlson Gracie, Delray Beach, in regards to my professor Manny that I had at the time. Manny Suarez, he actually helped me out for a bit. And then as far as just keeping me sharp with my grappling. And then eventually down the road, I found another gym for Muay Thai that was Equilibrium Gym from my friend Ronan Oriquez. He helped me out with that side. So I was learning, like, really in that journey, I kind of lost the fire because of working at or training at ATT in regards to the fact that there were so many people there that they couldn't see me and the amount of work that I was willing to do. So I had to step away. And those two gyms that I was training at, one for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the other one for Muay Thai, they helped to rekindle the fire in me, as far as just like I know that I work hard. I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's just sometimes people don't really have the right platforms, or they don't know how to use that platform. So they rekindled that fire just for me to still keep pushing to this day. And that led to, those two gyms led to, right here, Fight Sports Deerfield Beach. And Fight Sports Deerfield Beach is basically the place that I've come to where I'm basically merging everything together. Josias has helped me out ridiculously in regards to my grappling, and just starting to become more aware of the skills that I do possess, and then also starting to see technique. And then Coach Daniel has definitely helped me out in regards to my Muay Thai and everything of that nature, and just once again just kind of sharpening and honing my technique. So I'm a lifelong student. That's my story.
Yeah, by letting you teach other students and help us, it tells a lot, you know, because Daniel, he's very professional.
Yeah.
So if you made that decision, that means he trusts in you. He
Yeah.
trusts in your skills.
Yeah.
I saw you doing your sparring match yesterday. I noticed that it's just that technique, man. I was like, bro, I wish I could be that perfect with the technique, you know, because I still, when I throw some punches and, you know, some of the sequences, I know it's not 100%. It might be like 80-90%, but I want to be like 100% like you guys. I see you guys sparring. It's just beautiful to see. It's like an art, right? It's like a dance.
Yes, exactly. Though it is a dance. Yes.
Even though it hurts when you get hit, but you guys still there. You take the punches and you're there.
Yes.
You're in position. You know, it's pretty much, you get used to it, right?
Yeah, after a while, you do kind of get used to it. Initially, it's a little bit of a fight or flight mindset, where it's just like, okay, then you flinch a little bit, so on and so forth. You're so used to getting your strikes off, but you're not used to having the other person respond. However, after a certain amount of times, it's no different than going into a gun range. You know, when you first go into the gun range, you go in with your 9mm, and you're like, okay, I'm going to just get my shots off, and you're happy that you're bang, 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 you know, getting your shots off. But then somebody comes in with a different firearm, something that's a semi-auto or anything, and you just hear that thing go off, and it kind of just, it startles you. You know, there's a different type of noise that goes on that you weren't expecting, that you didn't anticipate. And that's what it is when we like, for example, you and myself, when we decide to engage into a spar, you know, just even if it's just a light play, it's like, okay, then you have your game plan set up. However, you don't know what my game plan is. And whoever gets theirs off, it's like, okay, then how is that going to offset you, and how are you going to get back to balance so that you can continue to, you know, implement what you have in your mindset. So, yeah.
Is there any technique for the flinch for people that are still scared a little bit? I notice some people at the gym, they get a little scared when they get hit.
Right.
Do you have any technique for that, or is it just practice?
Practice is always going to be important, okay? Practice is always going to be important. However, I need to talk directly to the people, okay? So I'm going to just go ahead and march over here real quick and let them know. The key to getting past the flinch is to build up a defense, a strong defense. I'm not going to lie to you. The last two people that I've done Muay Thai with, they had such an amazing defense that I was basically kind of flustered with all my offense that I was throwing, because they just shut everything down. Shout out to those two people. Respectively speaking, it's Coach Daniel Mendez and my old coach, Ronan Enriquez. Both of them kept their hands high, and they made sure to go ahead and use proper defense, especially in Muay Thai, especially with checking kicks, so on and so forth. It's very difficult to get past impenetrable wall that they set up. So if you want to stop your flinching, you need to build up a strong defense, and that's my opinion, but I stand behind it 100%.
Beautiful words. By the way, what's the name of that kid from the gym? The Brazilian kid. I think he's 17. He's like a brick wall in Muay Thai.
You're talking about Lincoln with the mustache?
No, I don't think he has a mustache. He's very quiet. He just show up, trains, and simple.
Okay.
He doesn't even talk to anybody.
Okay.
But he's like a brick wall.
Okay.
The guy that gave me a black eye, remember?
Oh, I'm taking too many hits to the head. I think you may be referring to 17, you said?
Yeah, he's 17.
I think you may be referring to Gabriel. Yeah,
he's big. He's a big boy, you know.
Yeah.
He's like a brick wall. The way he blocks, right? He stays here, and then you hit, you can go through that. And then when he hits you, it's so quick.
Yeah.
And he doesn't move much like I do, but he does. He's like a brick wall. Like, if you're sparring with him, How would you break that defense? Because that defense is a pain in the ass, man. Break through.
So now we're referring to breaking down the defense. The key to breaking down the defense, in my opinion, is variety and also breaking up the cadence. As far as a lot of people think when they're striking, it's just, okay, ha 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 ha, and just I'm going to keep attacking the head. But the variety comes from body, head, body, changing the levels, making them realize like, okay, I'm sending you up, but I'm going to end up with my main goal attacking down low. So they may focus on getting their hands up high so that they can protect themselves, but then your real intention was to land that body kick or to land that body shot.
Okay.
If you were to look at the fight that I had back in June, one of the things that I did was I basically went ahead and I attacked high, but I was also looking for body shots from time to time. It's not that I'm trying to end people with the body shot, but sometimes it's just so you can set up certain things like, okay, I want to get them to lower their hands, so I'm going to go ahead and hit them in the body so then I can bring that kick over the top. Or I want to go ahead and get their hands up higher, so I'm going to start off going straight to the head, and eventually the fight or flight nature is going to make them go ahead and say, okay, especially if they're new into this sport and they haven't had the experience, they're going to go ahead and just say, I'm going to bring my hands as high up as possible. Almost similar to Talladega Nights, like, I don't know where my hands should go. Where should I put my hands? And they just keep lifting their hands higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
And they expose all this here. So it comes down to the variety and breaking up the cadence, coming in with a double jab, cross to the body. Okay, back out. See how they reacted to that. Okay, they just ate that double jab. They blocked it, but then they didn't do anything to the body. All right, then, well, maybe I'm going to go double jab again, cross to the body. But when I do that cross to the body, I'm going to follow up with a high kick to the head. Okay. Things of that nature, especially if you're feeling comfortable. But you have to take the time to work those drills. Like Bruce Lee said, I'm not afraid of the person who knows 10,000 kicks. I'm afraid of the person who practiced that one kick 10,000 times. So you want to make sure that you have a solid foundation in your strikes that you're using. The jab, the cross, the hook, your basic kicks, your switch kick, your rear leg kick, so on and so forth. And from there, then you start to play around. Then you start to digest or eat when you're out there. Earlier on, when I first started training Muay Thai or kickboxing with Rufus Sports Kickboxing Academy, I remember Duke Rufus would say, you eat with your left side. Like, always use your left leg to go ahead and start to set up things, switch kicks, so on and so forth. As a 22, 23-year-old at the time, it didn't register as far as the philosophy behind it, but now moving forward into the man that I've grown to be now, it makes total sense now. Even when we just had a seminar with Cosmo Alexander, and he was sitting there basically saying the same things, and it just kind of it resonated more, because it's just like, okay, then it makes sense. You use this jab to make sure you keep the person far away. You use this leg the same way, teep kick, so on and so forth. So if anything, you'll use your left side if you stand orthodox, okay? If you don't stand orthodox, if you're southpaw, then you'll go ahead and work an opposite, so your right hand forward. But neither here nor there. You're going to use your leads to basically test out your opponent, see where their defense is, Jab, see if they're keeping their hands up, see if they're trying to parry. If they're parrying close to their face, okay, then they're on point. If they're reaching, guess what? You may be able to feint that jab, come around with the hook, so on and so forth. So build the foundations, but then once you have that foundation, know how to properly play as far as using the right methods, and also the variety and the cadence, breaking up the variety and the cadence. That's going to really help to set you apart, especially with what you witnessed last night with the sparring that we had, where it's just like, okay, then breaking up the cadence. Sometimes, even with that sequence that you saw last night, sometimes I could be the aggressor all the time. However, sometimes I don't want to be the aggressor. Sometimes I just want to see what this person has to give, so I can basically say, okay, I know I can shut this down and I can respond back, or I know that if they go ahead and throw this throw this this overhand cross, which I was hoping for last night. I'm gonna work this combination I just saw and I wanted to try out. Speaking specifically on a combination I saw where they blocked the cross, they returned with the hook, and then uppercut, and then went to the body. And it's just like, I wanted to do that so badly last night, but it just didn't work out. However, I still had enough of a foundation with my normal strikes that I was able to just kind of go with the flow and be able to naturally adapt to whomever with the different people that I was sparring with, that we were sparring with last night. So, yeah.
Yeah, what I try to do on my sparring, because I'm very long, so what I try to do, I do the Taekwondo stance, which is I stay a little bit sideways.
Right.
I pretty much blade myself. I
Right.
know, I don't think Dana's going to like that because, it's very different from Muay Thai. But then I stay a little bit sideways and I use my hand and it's impressive when you touch people.
Mm-hmm.
You touch them, they have a reaction. They just don't take the touch and stay there. They usually do something about it. I'm like, I keep hopping, step back and forth, and then I touch them or a jab, and then they do something, and then I counterattack it.
Right.
Do you think that's a good strategy, or it's faulty? Let's say it like this.
Okay. So in regards to the Taekwondo stance and the Taekwondo method, it has its practicalities. However, in regards to the effectiveness of Taekwondo compared to Muay Thai, I believe, and I stand behind this, especially as a previous practitioner of Taekwondo as well, I still believe that Muay Thai is direct, straight to the point. It's a straight line, whereas Taekwondo, that side stance that you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
That side stance that you're talking about where you reach out and you can touch the person. That's amazing. You'll get a couple touches. Let's think about Wonder Boy. Stephen Thompson. He does that in a way. He has that side stance and he kind of can touch and he'll play around. However, he's been raised in that style. He has a strong foundation. So I understand when people go and they revert to that. However, what you also have to realize is the chinks in the armor. You're exposing the back of your leg for like a person who's got really good leg kicks. Could you imagine if we could take away the height and weight difference, having a Jose Aldo going up against like a Wonder Boy? Jose Aldo would eat that leg up so badly. And I still am a Jose Aldo fan. I still love Jose Aldo. If you're out there and you're watching this podcast, I respect you. But when everything's said and done, Jose Aldo would eat that leg up because it's like, okay, then yeah, it's a simple head movement. It's going to most likely get past the touch that you're talking about. So, okay, then the first time you touch me, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that, but I see you're still side stance. Okay, then next time you go to touch, if I go ahead and do a slight head movement and follow up with a kick, I'm going to eat that lead leg up. And eventually at some point, you're going to have to say, oh, I'm going to change stances and put the other leg forward and try to do the same thing, which therefore is a giveaway to me. Hey, this guy is giving me his legs. Let's just tear them down, tear those legs down. And, once you take away the person's foundation, they have nothing else to really fight on. Once again, let's go back to Jose Aldo versus Uriah Faber. Uriah Faber had hell of a heart, but Jose Aldo took that man's legs away that fight, man. He took his legs.
Have you seen the video afterwards?
No, I think it's been on YouTube. It was like this big hematoma on it. Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't usually do this when I'm sparring with the people that move fast as well, people that do that kind of stuff, or the same height. I don't do that. But when because most of the time I'm taller than everybody else.
Right.
And I do that with them. What's the name of the bodybuilder guy? He was training there with us. He was at the gym yesterday.
I know who you're referring to.
Yeah, but the one that's giving me tips on the diet.
Yeah. I feel like his name was Rich, but I don't want to. Do not hold me to it, but I believe his name was Rich.
I think it's Rich. Yeah. Richie or something like that.
Yeah.
He when I was sparring with, he has a lot of power.
Yeah.
A lot of power.
Yeah.
I did jiu-jitsu with him, and I was very impressed the way he was trying to hold me down. If I had no technique at all, I was going to be screwed.
Right.
But when we're doing the sparring match, he has a lot of power, but he doesn't move as much as me.
Right.
So what I did, I threw the touching thing. It pisses him off, and then I have the video. I'll show you. And then the way when he throw a kick, it's he's a big boy, so it's slower.
Yeah.
So I can see that. I'm very good at grabbing kicks. Now Daniel Mendes, he said, be careful when you catch the kick, because when you catch the kick, you might get hurt, because the guy can just
Right.
push you with the leg. It happened. Remember Nikita?
Yes. I remember.
He fucked me up with that.
Seriously.
I grabbed his kick. I grabbed him once. On the second time, I grabbed him, and then he fucked up my ribs. He pushed me backwards, right? And then he said, you got to be very careful with it. You catch the foot, you pass it to the side, and move.
Exactly.
Don't sit there with it. Because I had the habit of grabbing the kick, picking the leg up, moving forward and drop the guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't work very often, but that was part of my strategy, But with him, he was a slower fighter. Now, if you're fighting a guy his size, how would you go about it? How would you try to defeat him?
In that situation, I tap my memory banks and I think of Bruce Lee versus who is it that they had in the was it? Oh man, I know this is gonna come back and haunt me. I want to say Hakeem Olajuwon or whatnot, but I wasn't born then, so I wouldn't remember. But for me, it would just be similar, where it would be more so the variety, in and out, so on and so forth, and high quantity in regards to going up against Richie. I would definitely, in that situation, I have to often think about, okay, then, not just the dominance over the person, but then also making sure that I'm in training now, making sure that I'm also giving that person the opportunity to learn for themselves. So, for example, with his slower kicks, it's like I would try to make it so that he could understand he needs to go ahead and get that, pull the trigger faster with his attacks, so on and so forth. So I would let him. At times, I would eat his kicks, and I know that he has very heavy legs. As you mentioned, he's a bodybuilder. He's a very dense person. So it's like, for example, if I'm just to digress in regards to catching the kicks, from him, I don't just sit right here as the kick's coming and let it, touch my ribs and then I go and grab it or anything of that nature. I'm literally moving vertical away from the kick, like away from the power. So then when I catch it, it's going to be more towards the latter part, not at the full strength. And then from there, I may go ahead and switch over, so on and so forth. And even when I'm moving laterally away from the kick, I'm kind of exposing my back instead of leaving my ribs, which, this is once you have a broken or you injure your ribs, that can really put you down for a while. So those are the things that I would do in regards to trying to catch his kicks, so I could help him build himself up. However, just in general, with just sparring with him, it's just going to be the high quantity movement, so on and so forth, and just almost similar to how you would see a jackal. A group of jackals, I don't remember the correct term for them, but just a group of jackals going and attempting to get some of the scraps from the lion's hunt. They don't just sit there and just kind of go directly head on with the lion. They may have one that goes and distracts the lion, and then another one comes in, but they just more so, I guess, for lack of better terms, let's just go back to some of the best quotes ever. Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. You're just going to go ahead and, you'll move around outside and then come in, come out. Come in, come out. Make sure that you have what your sequence you're going to work, so on and so forth. And from time to time, for myself, especially with a person like with you that's longer, taller, so on and so forth, I definitely have to have my movement so that you don't know where to try to keep that range. If I just stand straight in front of you, you could go ahead and reach out and touch me with your hand or teep me. But if I'm going ahead and I'm just like slightly movement over here, staying off center, keeping my head movement, so on and so forth, then what that ends up doing is it gives you a moving target, and it's harder to hit a moving target compared to just like a stationary target. Mm-hmm. So that's where my mindset kind of goes when I'm going up against a taller person. It's weird. It's like I have two different minds that click click on and off from time to time. When I'm going up against a taller person, I'll definitely try to work inside, Definitely want to get in, work on the inside, get off a couple shots, get out for a little bit, catch myself, and then commit to going back in. But then when I'm going up against a smaller person, it's like, okay, then I'll stay there with them, and sometimes I may go ahead and play the long game and try to keep them out of range, so on and so forth. So, yeah.
So pretty much you when you know who you're going to be fighting, you have a strategy for it.
I assess and go as I'm in the flow of everything, you know.
So you check the style, you check the size, the weight, everything, and then you make a game plan for that.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's what we're doing right. Now, when did you meet Daniel?
I met Daniel May of 2021. April of 2021. I didn't sign
last
up.
Year.
Yes. I didn't sign up until May though, but during the pandemic, the gyms that I was training at, separately, one of them shut down. The other one was too far of a commute, and I reached out to one of my friends, Ginseng, and Ginseng was like, "Hey, this gym is over in the area." It's funny. I actually used to live over not too far from where the gym is. I used to work at the waste management, the trash mountain over there. Mm-hmm. So it's just like every now and then when I'm driving over there, I have this nostalgia, just like thinking back to like when I first moved down here, when I was working at waste management, having to go work over there, and it's like, okay, I'm blessed to be able to still.
You used to work there?
Yeah. Literally
Crazy.
used to work there. So I'm blessed to be able to still be doing this and to still, pursue my dream as far as just training and everything, and just being able to spread joy and positivity, positividade, so on and so forth. So yeah.
Have you ever had any hard times in your life, like depression and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. 2016, 2017 was definitely a hard time. So what ended up happening? Let's go back. I moved down here for three reasons. One, I just finished my graduate program, so I got my MBA. And the school that I got my MBA from was my employer, and they let me go pretty much the day after I finished the graduate program. So I was in Wisconsin all the way up until about March looking for jobs with no opportunity. And those who know Milwaukee, Wisconsin know that it was considered like one of the most segregated cities in the United States. And at some point, you'll become a statistic, especially as a young black male. And by statistic, I mean like you'll end up either having a child out of wedlock or going to jail, being arrested, so on and so forth. And despite everything that I've done to, from graduating college, graduating high school, graduating college, graduating grad school, so on and so forth, it almost seemed like I was going to be following that same trajectory. So my girlfriend at the time was going to Barry University down here, and she said, "Hey, why don't you come down here and look for a job?" And I was just like, you know what? This may be one of my only few opportunities, to get out of Wisconsin. So I went ahead and did that, and I thought about the fact that, at that time, a lot of the bigger fighters were fighting out of Florida. They were training out of Florida, so on and so forth. So this would be a great opportunity also for me to get out of Wisconsin, train martial arts amongst some of the greatest, in the United States, and find a better job opportunity for myself, especially because I used to have long dreadlocks and everything of that nature, so I wasn't the corporate image. And then I got here in March. By May of 2014, things didn't seem right. By August, around this same time near my birthday, a day after my birthday, or no, was it day before? So it was around my birthday. I got a text message. "Adric, this isn't working out. I need you to move out within the next month or so."
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
You
got kicked out,
yeah,
bro.
dude, yeah. I mean, I found a job with waste management, but my girl, I don't know. I didn't do anything to her. I don't know.
She broke up with you.
Yeah, she just said, "Hey, you gotta get the fuck out." You know what I'm saying? She was like, "Hey, you gotta go." So, I basically moved down here with everything I could fit in my 2002 Honda Accord at the time. Okay.
Okay.
So when she did that, I had nowhere to go. fortunately, I was going to this park around the corner from where she stayed, and I would just be in there shadow boxing, so on and so forth. And people would come and talk to me from time to time. So during that time, I remember having a conversation with a person, trying to be approachable and build up my social skills while I'm in the park. I didn't want to seem like very off-putting. And the person that I was talking to, we would have nice conversations about the Bible. And he actually offered, because they were relocating to Port St. Lucie, but they still had their condo down here. So he offered to let me live there for 2 months. So I paid him 2 months up front, moved in there for a while, stayed there, then moved into extended stay hotel, which was basically like I was just living amongst, a wide variety of people, if just to make it seem a little bit more PC. But I mean, it was drug dealers, so on and so forth. Just like it was just a diverse group of people that I was living amongst in that situation until I actually got my first apartment, because it took about dang near 6 months before they actually cleared me and said, hey, we'll give you an apartment, we'll let you move in. And that was over Crystal Point. If you ever go down
Crystal Point?
Yeah, Crystal Point. It's right over there off of Andrews, between Sample and Wiles, So that's where I used to live, and I stayed there for about 2 years. Before I ended up leaving Waste Management. There was a lot of, the corporate world is very, it can be arduous. Let's just say it like that. It can be very arduous. Outside of the deadlines, the politics is where I'm not really good in the corporate world. So I ended up leaving there to have an opportunity to go to Ecuador. And I went to Ecuador with Ailton Barbosa, and a bunch of other different people like Sapo. And
Sapo.
Yeah. I went there with Sapo. Rest in peace. I went there with Aaron Rajman. For those who remember, he passed away. He was shot a while back, and it was a great experience going to Ecuador.
Did you meet the guy who got murdered, Leandro Lowe?
No, I never did, but that hits me too. Like hearing about his situation. I remember reading about his situation, and it was just like I was talking to Jay-Z about it, and it was just like, man, it's so unfortunate.
Jay-Z met him before, right?
I believe so. Jay-Z was mentioning that like the community, the community's shocked, and I mean I was shocked. So I guess I'm part of. I guess that would include me in the community, but I was definitely shocked to hear that, So my condolences on this platform. My condolences goes out to his family over there in Sao Paulo, for real. I wanted to go to Sao Paulo. My uncle used to live.
City.
For real?
That's where I'm from.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it, bro. So my uncle used to live in Sao Paulo, right?
Okay.
And
which part?
I know I could tell you. If you give me 1 second, I could tell you. Oh my gosh. Rest in peace to my uncle. He just passed away as well. But he used to live in Sao Paulo, and my plan was to go visit him in November of this year, and then he passed away on me. Where are you, Uncle? Where are you? You should be somewhere.
I used to live in a place called Alto da Lapa.
Alto da Lapa? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about
nice
it.
Place. It's a nice place, but Brazil in general, it's very violent right now. It's not really a safe place for you to be, especially when you have money.
Yeah.
Unless you have lots of money, you can live in a place that
right,
those closed condos where nobody comes in. Like in here, when you go to Miami Surfside, got those closed places.
Yeah, I get you.
Even the police are there, and if you try to invade that place, cops will be there in 5 seconds. It's so quick. But I mean, I have nothing against. I mean, I do have some stuff against Brazil, but if I want to live there, no. But I want to visit it. I miss it.
Right. It's home still. It's still home.
I've been in America for so long that I don't see myself in Brazil anymore. If you drop me off there right now, I'll be a tourist.
Well, that's how I am too. Because I mean, I'm from Chicago. That's where I came into creation.
My matchmaker's from Chicago.
Word. See, that's where I came into creation in Chicago. However, I relocated from Chicago to Wisconsin in '94, so I know more of Milwaukee than I do Chicago. My birth certificate says Chicago, you know?
Okay.
But when everything's said and done, it's like I'm more Milwaukee. If I were to walk across this person from Chicago, they would say, oh, yeah, well, have you been on Cicero Ave during this part? And it'd be like, ah. But if somebody from Milwaukee was like, yeah, have you been down to Tonya over near Villard or Valete? I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I've been in those areas. I know about Sherman Ave. I know about so on and so forth. So I understand what you're saying in regards to you being here. My uncle was over in like area called like Dos Jardins or something of that nature. I'll give you.
Jardins.
Yeah.
Jardins. Oh, it's a good place.
Forgive me because my Portuguese is horrible.
How dare you? Damn you.
I do what I do.
Don't worry, man. You're doing good. Now, have you ever had any street fights? Of course you did. I can see in your eyes, man. I know you did.
I plead the fifth. No. I've had some back and forths. Just in my youth, though. Like when I was a kid, my brother we would get all the kids on the corner of the block, and we would just like me being his younger brother. He would say, my little brother can take your little brother, so on and so forth. So we would just do our little scuffle wrestle thing or whatnot. And I was often his uke or his test dummy for like wrestling moves, things of that nature. And then obviously growing up as a little hardhead, I got into some scuffles in the streets here and there, been jumped, had some people try to jump me or all this other kind of stuff, but nothing major. Especially with as I started to get older and really started put myself into this world of martial arts, it's like what I started to realize was like life is the hardest fight, and just making it through each day is where you really need to focus in instead of trying to prove anything to anybody else or trying to beat up anybody. The way that I compete now compared to how I used to compete, I feel like I compete now more so out of just like a place of contentment, a place of happiness. I may seem vicious in the moment. Even when we're sparring last night, it may seem like, oh wow, what's going on? He has something in his, like he's got a lot of anger or hate, but it's more so just like, okay, no, I'm focused. I want to make sure I do this right. I want to give the best of me so that anybody who's training with me, they'll become better too. So, that's one reason why, when you work with me, it's like, I may call you out on your hook and say, I want that elbow up more, but it's not because I'm trying to pick on you or give you a hard time. It's like, hey, I want you to be the best you. In college, I learned good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. So, yeah.
Yeah, when I saw you training, I didn't see anger. I saw focus.
Yeah, that's the best way of putting it. Yeah.
Because I saw that twice. He hit you with the hook.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right there, boom, and you ate it, boom, and you ate it again. And I'm like, bro. And then you kept your cool and still moving forward and throwing punches, and then he hit you a couple of times, and you're just like taking it. And the thing is, when you're sparring someone and you hit him, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't sound like you got hurt.
Yeah.
Then the other guys start, having doubts.
Exactly.
It's like, bro, am I doing anything to him?
Exactly.
I spar with a guy. He's an older guy from the gym as well.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him like twice at the gym. Brazilian guy. He's 48 years old, okay. And he has 48 kickboxing fights.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah. So I saw him. Older guy, very chill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, but that'll be easy for me. And I start sparring with him, 3 rounds.
Right.
And I was throwing my punches, and he was just, nothing happened, right? I hit him, not good punches, and he was fine. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Nothing's working. And then I started throwing kicks and punches, and he was just taking it. I'm like, well, maybe if I throw a little bit harder, I want to get a reaction out of him.
Right.
Nothing happened.
Well,
and then he threw me his combinations, and I'm like, this motherfucker knows how to fight.
Yeah.
So there's something wrong with this guy right here.
Right.
I think he knows what he's doing, man.
Yeah.
I think him not doing nothing is just on purpose, and he started like throwing his combinations, and I noticed it was all part of his plan.
Right.
Let me do the work.
Exactly.
And then he will do his work afterwards.
Right.
It was one of the longest 3 minutes of my life
Yeah.
per
Yeah.
round. We're
Yeah.
doing like 3 minutes, so 3, 6, 9 minutes
Yeah.
total, right?
Right.
And it was a great training, great
Mhm.
session. And then he said, "Oh yeah, I used to compete. I was a kickboxer." He doesn't look like a fighter. He looks like some regular guy,
Yeah,
just
real
a guy you see
chill.
on the streets.
Right.
And that was a great strategy,
Mhm.
And he was eating my punches, and I started doubting my punches when I saw that. And then he told me, he said, "Your punches were actually hurting the shit out of me, but I didn't want to show you any emotion." I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
this is like a poker game, right?"
Yeah, seriously. When I remember earlier, I gave a shout out to Coach Daniel and Coach Ronan in regards to the simple fact that they have such an impenetrable defense that, like I said, I'm sitting here thinking I'm teeing off, tat, 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 but nothing was penetrating. Even when I threw a good leg kick, it was like, okay, it brought their leg up just enough to check it, and it's just one of those type of things where, especially outside of my shout outs that I did, just looking at like the Muay Thai strikers, the high level Muay Thai strikers in Thailand, they are very big on making it look playful, where it's just like, okay, then yeah, that was a heavy hit, but haha, I'm gonna laugh it off. I'm gonna flick it off real quick, and then I'm gonna just get back to stance and come back and respond back and everything. So that's one of those parts of the game that it takes a lot of discipline and training, a strong foundation to be able to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to let this person tee off, especially when you look at how the Muay Thai structure of fighting is as far as their competition, where the first round, they're just kind of filling each other out. They're just boop, boop,
Yep.
boop. But then, like you said, by that third round, it gets like, how did I get in such deep waters? Like what in
Yep.
the world? I'm now swimming amongst sharks or orcas at that, because we all know orcas are the best hunters of the sea. But it's just like, wow, I'm in deep, deep waters right now, and how am I going to survive? That kind of mentality. Even when Cosmo was, he had his seminar here, I remember him talking about how he kind of has like adopted a stoic mindset, where he's not showing emotion. He's not showing any kind of reaction to what his opponent's doing, and then just staying to the game plan, that focus that we talked about earlier, that you saw with my sparring. So I try to emulate the people who are doing it the best. So that's one thing that's just like, that pays off when you have that defense, you have that stoic kind of that nonchalant reaction or anything. Even if you did get hit with a heavy punch, you fall back slightly, but you quickly respond back to let them know, hey, boom, I'm still in this game. Once they see that you're in this game and you're fully focused, you're fully committed, then it becomes a battle of the wills and who's going to really still stick to their ground, instead of, oh yeah, I have an amazing right cross and I'm going to just hope that this finishes the fight. Usually when you see those people that try to throw a haymaker, just that one haymaker,
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, then once you see that this person has a strong chin and they can eat, all your haymakers. Mark Hunt is like, I can't remember what fight it was, but I remember he was getting bashed. And I mean, he throws heavy too, but I remember he was getting bashed and he just stayed in the game. And it's just like, whoa. Like, if I could only imagine if I was sitting here throwing all my heart at this person and he just like, okay, whatever, and returning back, it's like, oh man, I don't know. I mean, you can feel yourself start to dwindle down. Like, okay.
Another guy that used to eat a lot of punches was Robbie Lawler.
Yeah. Think about Robbie Lawler
What
during
about
McDonald,
Nate
right?
Diaz.
Yeah.
They're saying I saw something online saying that Nate Diaz can take a lot of blows to the head because he smokes so much pot that it. I'm serious. No, I'm not joking.
I hear you.
It's like it's something from him smoking pot. It changed his brain or whatever. He can take a lot of damage and he's not gonna get knocked out. It's harder for him to get knocked out.
I got you.
I don't know if that's true or not. If there's anybody there that is a doctor, just let me know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just saw that online. It's not a reliable source, but they say he can take all these punches because he smokes a lot of pot. So I don't know. I don't know if you smoke weed or
No, I'm not. I'm
No, I mean, bro.
for me, to be honest with you, it's like I have smoked weed before. I have experimented before. However, it's nothing that I'm like into as far as like, okay, this is the part of my life that helps me get by or anything of that nature. I'm very, I guess you could say like I'm a moderate type person. I'm very more so. The life is already addictive and it's already a lot to process. So like going down those random trips and so on and so forth, it's I understand it and I get it. I do get it because of my past and smoking recreationally in college or whatever. But now, so at this point, it's like, okay, I feel like I'm starting to really tune into life without any of the extras. Like I could go to a club right now, which I may end up doing after this is all done. But I could go to a club and I could still go ahead and dance and party without having a drink of liquor or nothing of that nature. I could still be able to just like fully tune into the moment and be aware that, hey, maybe this isn't my moment. Maybe I just need to sit back and relax. When it comes to smoking and everything of that nature, it's nice to be able to have that to decompress and like to fully chill, especially if you have an active mind. Mm-hmm. However, as of lately too, especially within this past year or so, I've been diving more into meditation and affirmations, things of that nature in the morning time, things of that nature. So, I'll spend time breathing and yoga. Coach Jay-Z put me on this yoga program that it's like, I want to say I've been doing it every day, but I'll be lying to myself. So I do it as often as possible, especially with the recent surgery. That's one reason why I wasn't able to do it every day. But I started doing that in addition to just my normal everyday activities, and it started to like help me to kind of just like better attain a better understanding of things.
Have you ever tried hot yoga?
No, I haven't done hot yoga.
What the hell is that?
It's hot. That's what it is. It's
really?
Hot. You know what I'm saying? I haven't done it though.
But hot like in the temperature, or it's just fucking sexy?
It's
both. It's
a sexual. No, I'm joking.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
It's basically it's just like you're in a sauna, like a sweat box with other people, and you're just like in a hot room, from my understanding. But I haven't.
Why?
I don't know. I haven't experienced it. I'm gonna probably do one hopefully before the end of the year. Knock on wood, just so I don't jinx myself. But I'm gonna probably do one. When I do it, I'll give you my full my full little breakdown.
I'm not gonna go with you.
No.
Never, because it sounds So yeah, me and Adric, we went to the hot yoga yesterday. It was fun. It was hot.
Yeah, it was real hot.
We're all sweaty.
Just had to take off my shirt, and I was just
I was like, bro, just take it off.
Just
relax,
take it
bro.
off.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Don't worry.
I'll be fine, man. I don't need that. I'll be fine.
Yeah, no worries. I'll let you know how my experience is though.
Far away. I don't even want to meet you. Just call me.
Yeah. Don't worry. I've done beach yoga before, and that is very relaxing, especially when you're facing towards the ocean and you really start to look out over the ocean and just over the horizon and just start to like just go into your own thoughts or even just your own visions of what you see for the future. So
do you have trouble sleeping?
From time to time, yeah.
How do you deal with this? I'm asking for my dog. My dog can't sleep, so.
You said for who?
My dog.
Your dog?
Yeah.
You have a dog? What kind of dog?
A poodle.
Oh, nice. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Poodle.
So for sleeping, to be honest with you, the reason why I would have difficulties from time to time is just because I would have a lot of things going through my mind in regards to
you can't shut down your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing. Same problem with
your dog.
My dog.
Yeah, it has from time to time. So for that, I embrace the moment. I totally get that. Okay, then I need to be up or something's keeping me up. So I stay up. I may pass out for 2 hours. So, for example,
your demons.
Yeah, basically demons or whatnot. But I'll pass out. Let's say, as of lately, I've been sleeping good. Okay, so I cannot complain. But beforehand, when I would definitely be up and about, I'd be up until like 12 midnight. Well, a typical day would be like 12 midnight. I'd go to bed, and then I'd be up at 4:30 so I could try to start the day, because there's not enough light in the daytime to get everything done, especially when you're trying to work, so on and so forth, take care of other tasks, walk your dog, so on and so forth, feed your dog. Trust me, I have a dog too, so I understand that, the dog situation. So in regards to it, I just kind of embrace the moment, and then I go to sleep when I can.
Just letting you know, I don't have a dog. I was being so sarcastic and it sounded real.
I know you don't have a dog, but I'm letting it be known that I understand, especially when you have a dog in your life. You have to prioritize. That's one reason why I would get up early in the morning. I would get up early in the morning, and I would run like every other day. I'd run like a mile with my dog, so on and so forth, and come back, prepare his food, go to the gym, come back, take a shower, go to work, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours there, come back, walk my dog again, run to the gym, do 2 hours, come back, try to do some extra work for the job, and probably wouldn't go to bed to 12 midnight, and then be back up again for 4:30. And sometimes I would just be so caught up in so many different deadlines that you just have to embrace the moment, realize that there's waves in life. So it's just like, okay, then right now it's busy, but then there's going to be that downtime to recover. Sometimes it may not seem like it's coming, but when it does come, you take full advantage of it, and not by manipulating it, but you just say like, okay, then, for example, there's been these past 3-day holiday weekends, 4th of July, let's say, and Memorial Day weekend that we just recently had pass. Everybody else may have been out partying and going to the beach and doing cookouts. I was sleeping, slumped. Like, I wanted to get up. The only reason why I got up was to walk my dog and to spend time with my dog. And then I just went back inside and I just slept, because as we get older, we make sacrifices so that we can live the dream that we want to live. You make sacrifices so you can have this amazing podcast, so that may mean that you have to stay up till 3 a.m. just so you can finish editing, so on and so forth. However, that end product, when you're posting it onto the different social medias and so on and so forth, that's your accomplishment. That's the thing that you look over and you say, wow, I did this. When Jay-Z has promoted me to a purple belt, and then I did my first jiu-jitsu tournament as a purple belt, no-gi, I look at those that experience and that, the turnout that happened, and I'm grateful for that. So that not only did it renew me as far as like saying, okay, then we'll just keep pushing, keep striving, because not only did it renew me as far as keep pushing, keep striving, but it also just kind of just like let me know the same thing that I was told before: stick to the plan. Though our aspirations may be grand, as long as you stick to the plan, at some point in your life you will reach that point. You will reach that aspiration. We all may want to be a billionaire by the time we're 25, but we don't really truly know the actual necessary work that's required to become a billionaire, especially because we don't have the same funds. We're not a trust fund baby, so on and so forth. So what we have to take into consideration is like, all right, then I'm setting the foundation now for whatever my next generation may be. I may not be the champion of whatever promotion. However, I'm acquiring the skill sets now that down the road, if somebody feels like they want to allow me to show them the path, they'll be able to take what I'm showing them and say, oh, this guy wasn't just, showing me stuff to show me stuff. He was really putting me onto the right path so that I could go ahead and attain that, whatever their aspirations may be. So in a way, it's just like, we lifting as we climb. As I'm climbing up, I'm also trying to help lift up the people that are not beneath me, but that are near me, so on and so forth, that have looked out for me and taken care of me, so on and so forth. So yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Guys, I know you guys are enjoying this beautiful podcast. Now we're coming to an end, but before we finish this, I want to ask you a favor.
What's that?
I want you, I always look for perfection. I'm a very perfectionist. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, perfectionist.
Yes, I knew it. I was just messing around. But if you could just try one of the Taurian MMA gloves. Those gloves are not new. I use them.
No worries.
You can tell, but um, you can have a feeling of how it is. If it's, I just want to make sure it's comfortable. If you like it.
My bad.
Oh my gosh, you okay, bro?
Yeah, I'm about to knock out the whole mic. You know what? These are nice. In regards to they got good padding. It's a good fit. I know you said that you've used these.
Yeah.
It's
2 years already.
It's 2 years.
2 years.
Stop playing.
2 years.
Don't lie to me.
No. You can look. You can see it's used. Remember when I met you? I was already using them for a while. Yeah.
It's got ridiculously good padding.
Those are the same gloves. The same gloves from when I opened the box. I got the first gloves because they don't just get the gloves and put the logo and sell it. I don't like it this way. I want to make them.
I got you.
Everything is made from scratch.
Yeah.
So
I like
the team is good, man.
I like the mesh on the inside. It's definitely I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm taken back by the padding. Like for you having this for 2 years and it still being this like oh man, I would be.
My friend was using them as well. So when I wasn't training, he was using them on a punching bag.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make sure I keep using them all the time. So I wanna wanna guarantee how long it'll take for it to wear out.
Yeah, no. This has got some really good padding for 2 years and everything of that nature. If I came in with my gloves, I mean, I just recently got a new pair of gloves. I won't say from where. Within the past like 6 months or so, and that's the only reason why they're still padded. But the other ones that I was training with, it's like in the fingers. The first off the leather started to really, it was like faux leather. It wasn't real leather, but it's like come off. So like my fingers are now coming through on the bottom.
This is the real deal. This is pure, genuine leather.
No,
That's
no,
why
no.
you see the difference.
Dude, I can see it in the stitching. Like this is legit stitching. The way that they even have this thumb stitch stitch, so you can make sure that everything's good. Like I said, this padding though is what's really giving me like what. You ain't been using this. Let me take these and break these things in, really. You know what I'm saying? But really nice gloves. Seriously.
Yeah, you'll see. I wanna train with them as long as I can. I just wanna make sure they're gonna last for
definitely really
at least 5 years. It'll be good.
Yeah, no, that's a quality glove though.
So
That's a quality glove. Seriously.
All right, guys. So there you have it. Another great athlete talking about the gloves, saying they're good. So. Like I said, I never had any complaints my whole life. Not my whole life.
But the whole glove life. Yes,
the
exactly,
glove life.
exactly.
Of course, not my whole life. Just don't talk to my mom. She has a lot of complaints. Yeah. But guys, thank you so much. I want to thank you again. Special thanks for my mom.
Yes.
My dad. They both supported the brand. And Susan Glacy Marine, she helped the brand a lot.
Nice.
The rash guards, the shorts and everything. She was the one, making sure everything was going smoothly.
Definitely.
She's a judo black belt. She's a very good fighter.
Right.
She just won another tournament, and she's a coach.
Congratulations.
Marciana Paiva, thank you so much for the support. And everybody watching, please like and subscribe. You don't have Instagram, right?
Yeah, I'm not on Instagram.
You don't have Instagram?
No, I'm not on Instagram. I have LinkedIn. No, that's the only social media I do though.
You don't have Instagram? Okay.
Yeah.
Production is talking to me right now. They're saying that's not possible.
Oh no, it's possible. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook.
Production, they're saying it's possible. Can you confirm that for me? They said it's impossible. So they're saying.
Is production looking at me right here?
They are right here.
Okay, then good. I want them to understand. Unfortunately, I'm not on Instagram. Okay, you gotta understand this. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm not on Instagram. But who knows? Who knows what may come in the... Yes, I've been grinding. Oh, no, hell no. Not no grinding. Jesus. No. My bad. I thought you said the grind. Like, I've been grinding, but not grinder. Oh, no, I'm good.
And especially, I want to thank my production. Thank you so much, Tony, for all the hard work you're doing for me, making this podcast happen. TLC Studios, thank you so much.
Yes.
And do you have any special words, magical words to inspire people? If you have them, just look at this camera right here.
Special words to inspire people.
Those people coming in, the new students.
Yes. The main thing I always tell all the students, especially when they're training with me, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So start off slow. Don't just try to run and try to do everything at once. Remember, build up that foundation. Make sure that you have a solid base before you just start to experiment with extra things. It's good to experiment, but you want to make sure you have a foundation before you go into extra things and risk yourself. So definitely move with caution. Keep your hands up at all times and just enjoy it. Love this process, man. It's a great journey. It's worth it. Trust me. You'll have fun. You won't regret it.
Beautiful. And the promo code again?
Positividade.
Positividade. Esse é o promo code. That'll be the promo code. Positivity in Portuguese.
Yes.
Positividade. It'll be there on the screen, so they'll know.
Exactly.
Guys, thank you so much again. And let's go train, right? No, you're gonna hit the club.
That's right. You gotta go clubbing.
I'm gonna hit the. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You gotta do something interesting.
Oh, yeah,
if I'm
right.
going clubbing,
you work again. I gotta work. This is my work, my life.
True. The sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Yeah, it's fine. I'll deal with it. Again, thank you so much. I'll see you guys next Monday. Os.